It's about that time of day again. Boy, that time flies when we're having fun making money. Welcome to your nightly newsletter, boys and girls. My name is Joseph James. It's Tuesday evening, March 10th, 2015. We are cruising through this second week of the third month. Have we recovered from daylight savings time? I think my brain is back on track now. I'll tell you, the markets definitely feel like they're still suffering from a little bit of jet lag, right? Daylight savings time, man. When are we getting rid of this? I get jet lag for 3 days and I don't even go anywhere fun, right? I should have gone on a trip. Anyways, welcome back to your nightly newsletter here, guys. Tuesday evening, March 10th, 2015. Hope we're all doing well today. Hope you guys had a great Tuesday. In tonight's newsletter, crude oil is bearish. Yeah, just a little bit. You're going to hear that word bearish quite a bit out of my mouth tonight, right? I think everybody thought I was turning into a perma bull yesterday, but I told, hey, the charts don't lie. I'm not doing anything else to look at the charts. Anyways, crude oil is bearish this evening. I know, newsflash. But, hold on, bears. We're getting some mixed clues on crude for tomorrow. We see volume confirming the lows today, which we didn't get yesterday, right? Volume confirms the lows today, but we also see a big clue in the channel undershoot. This tells us that wise traders are going to stay patient tomorrow looking for that bigger correction on crude. I got some really great charts to show you guys on crude oil. How about gold? That funny yellow metal. Boy, gold's getting just crushed right now. This strong dollar syndrome is really affecting that gold right now. But volume does not confirm us right now. So gold is bearish, volume not confirming lower here today on gold, which tells us we're likely going to see traders take their profit at these lows. So stay patient to sell those resistance levels overhead. And aggressive traders can actually look at small buying opportunities right now on gold. We thought we were going to get a couple of them yesterday, but it just tanked anyways. And how about that Russell? Russell is bearish, but we're all the way down at the lows of the bear channel, all the way down at the lows of the measured move. And so now we want to wait for price to correct off these lows, and we're looking for more selling opportunities. But we have a great trading range that's giving us all the information we need for the E-mini Russell tomorrow. All right, guys? Boy, as you can see, we have a jam-packed, exciting newsletter for you guys and gals. We're knocking it out the park here this year, 2015, and I can't wait to share with you guys these charts. Before we begin, though, you know how we roll here. I want to make sure you guys remember, make sure you're watching the video here at sidewaysmarkets.com. There are 3 reasons why it is in your best interest to get over here to Sideways Markets. First of all, you can download all of my charts right below the video. There's a link right below the video on our trading blog to let you download all of our trading charts for today. How about a free pass to come out and join us in our trade room? Yeah, absolutely. If you're not a member here at School of Trade yet and you're curious, what does it feel like to be in our trade room? What does it feel like to be a part of School of Trade's community? We're the fastest growing community in the world right now, and I'd love to give you a free pass. If you're not yet a member at School of Trade, come out and join me in the trade room anytime this week. Grab your free pass in the upper left-hand corner, and then, of course, lower left-hand corner, pardon the ugly mug there. Right above my mug there, you'll see a spot for your name and your email address. Give me your name and your email address, and I'll send you an email every evening as part of our nightly newsletter mailing list. That way you never have to worry about missing another newsletter. Guys, grab your charts below the video. Grab your free pass, upper left-hand corner. Register for the newsletter list, lower left-hand corner. If you register for the list or the free pass, just be aware, I'm going to send you a verification email to make sure I have the right email address and to make sure I get approval to keep sending you emails in the future, right? No spamming done around here. All right, helmets on, seatbelts fastened, mouth guard, you might need one. You better be hydrated here right now. Remember, daylight savings time, your body needs it. Let's jump right in here. Gold is bearish. I'll tell you, I wasn't expecting to see it just drop like this. I really wasn't. All the clues we saw yesterday, I was expecting us to go higher before we came down, but hey, I'll take it. Whatever works. Volume, though. Volume does not confirm the move lower here today. You can see this as we look at these lows here. Compare these lows, right? Take the most recent low here. Volume, you can see dropping here and actually rising as we push higher. So that definitely does not confirm the move lower here. And that tells us because we're all the way down at this just ridiculously multi-tier. I mean, look at all the tiers. to this channel. Lots of resistance areas. I mean, there's even a small channel inside of this. It's incredible how symmetrical this chart is right now. So stay patient and be focused on selling resistance levels overhead. Now, aggressive traders, you know who you are. You know, you like the hot air balloons. You like riding around with a seatbelt on, looking over the edge of the Empire State Building, maybe some wooden roller coasters. You know who you are, right? Risk is your middle name. Well, you guys that are risk takers out there, you can go counter trend right now and buy this sucker. But remember, you're going counter trend, so wait for the trigger. I hope nobody bought yesterday without a trigger. So wait for the trigger here to be a buyer. If you want to know what the trigger looks like, come out and join me tomorrow. Buy and pullbacks on the way up, but again, keep it close to the vest. Because once we get up top here, we are most likely going to come right back down. Don't get greedy if you're a buyer here overnight and tomorrow on gold. Until that U.S. dollar starts slowing down, boy, this gold's going to keep on pushing. Gold price action is bearish, but wait. We get a long-term bear channel here. Here's a really important clue, and this is a clue that you really had to kind of look closely to find on this one. Almost missed it. We can see a long-term bear channel. Let's look at this long-term bear channel, right? This is the same exact channel I gave you guys last night, right? This is the long-term bear channel. And if you remember, my exact words were last night that if we revisited those lows, that we were likely going to continue, and we gave you guys a range expansion target, and we pretty much went right to it from last night's newsletter. So we got the short. I was expecting it to go a little bit higher before it went lower, but again, like I said before, the trend is down. You got to be ready for that stuff. So at this point now, we're looking at a big picture A, B, C, D. So keep your eyes open. Keep your eyes on that 1149.2. That's going to be the ultimate target as long as we don't completely reverse here and end up turning into a bullish trend here. As of right now, though, in the medium term, that 49.2 is going to be your target. Okay, and the reason for that is after the channel break, we see a successful new low. That definitely tells us these bears are here, and the second try to push it lower will usually take us. And of course, if I have to guess right now, we got some targets waiting for here. 54.2, 49.2, and 43.6. The juicy target, though, is going to be that 49.2 measured move. You know, markets love to go in twos like every other human being we know. But then look at the other clue we're getting here. Okay, now look at the short-term channel you can see here. Now, this short-term channel, this is the clue that tells me, combined with the last chart we just saw where we didn't get volume, we get an undershoot at that low. Take a look at this chart here. You can see the short-term channel, and we have a break? A what? What happened right there? What's that? Why is that there? That doesn't make any sense. Right? We don't see that happen. Now, you're probably thinking, but oh, hey, wait, you could draw it from here and then from there. It doesn't fit like that. So we're looking at this as a channel break. Guys, when something doesn't add up, you got to look for more clues. And the fact that we saw the volume and the undershoot on the last channel kind of feels the same way it did yesterday, right? We're kind of sitting just a little bit above those lows. We didn't finish the job down to those lows. I don't know. I'm not one to say we've been going lower all this time. We're destined to go higher, right? You'll never hear me talk like a gambler, right? That's what a gambler would say. Well, we've gone lower for 2 straight days. We're bound to go higher here. No, we're not, okay, first of all, right? That's how gamblers think. We're not gamblers. We look for proof, right? That's why I was looking for shorts today on all 3 of these from last night's newsletter. So that break right there gives me a little bit of smoke. Little bit of smoke, and what I'm going to wait for now is I'm going to wait to see the fire, all right? So here we have here. One concern, that short-term bear channel break, which is very odd, which means we're probably going to have to wait for price to go up before it comes back down. Now, again, last night's newsletter, I said the exact same thing, and it just rolled over and tanked. Remember, if it just rolls over, that's the clue you need, right? But right now, we're looking at price most likely going higher before it comes lower. Again, very similar. So how will I get long here right now? How would you get long? Well, the way that I would get long is I would wait for, and remember, the trick is when you're in a bearish trend and you want to get long, wait for sellers to fail. If you're in a bullish trend and you want to get short, You guessed it, wait for the buyers to fail. So we're in a long-term bearish trend. I mean, this is pretty obvious. So if I want to get long right now, the easiest way to do it is to wait for a seller who clearly missed all of this move over here, coming in late to the party, wait for them to try, and then wait for that nice big green candle entry trigger. You know they're going to be, you know where the stops are going to be, right? The stops will be right above the high of that entry candle for the sellers. Wait for them to get stopped out, and that should throw the fuel you need to get this price to go higher here. Okay, I'll be looking at, I had to put this on here. You can see there's a definite area of interest here at 63.9. I'll tell you right now though, that will be the least interesting of these three sell zones overhead. So we got 1, 2, 3. Look what this does though. A, B, C, yep. So 1174.4, run us possibly right back up to this range high. Some consolidation possibly here as we go into the third week of March. I don't know. Tough to say exactly. But right now though, there's a bunch of smoke here right now. And again, I would say wait for those sellers to fail. Wait for those big block sellers to fail. And then possibly we run it all the way back up. But again, once we see those sellers try and fail, that's when we know we got the buyers back in control, at least in the short term. What's the difference between today and last night? Well, last night we never failed, right? See that? There's no way. If you're trying to buy this, are you cuckoo? Right? Not going to happen. And again, we were looking to go below that low. So last night we got below that low. All bets are off now to the buy side. Now we're straight to the sell side. And of course, it just took off to the downside and then corrected. So again, seller failure, buy, counter trend, keep it close, right? Tight stops, take that profit, lock up that target real quickly here. And again, if we happen to run it all the way up to 74.7, that's when you're definitely thinking we're back to that bearish trend here. So looking a lot like I said last night. Probably going to go higher before it goes lower here on gold. Wise traders on gold right now, though, are going to wait patiently to sell at those highs. And if you want to be aggressive and buy this sucker right now on gold, you can do it, but wait for a seller failure. How about that Russell? Russell is bearish. Okay, here we are trading at the lows of the bear channel, and we have this very easy to see trading range right now. Okay, so here we go. We get the bear channel, nothing new there. Okay, we had that from last night's newsletter. Nothing new there. Okay, also too, and of course we're at the low of the bear channel. That should tell you right off the bat. Buyers will enter the market. Profit taking by the sellers, bargain hunting by the buyers at the channel lows. By the way, guys, where do we want to trade on a bear channel? Where would be the best place to trade a bear channel? At the highs, right? Absolutely, sell the highs, right? So we're going to the highs. Sell the highs. That's the goal of when you have a bear channel. Sell the highs. Okay? We know we're at the opposite right now. We're at the lows. That's red flag numero uno. Number 2, trading range. Right? Trading range. This trading range now tells us we have a little bit of indecision, right? A little bit of balance here. If we go lower, we have a range expansion target. If we go higher, we have a range expansion resistance area overhead. Keep a close eye on this location right here. This 1223 to 1225 area, keep a close eye on this area here for tomorrow. That's most likely where we run up to if these bulls take control tomorrow. Okay, now you know me, we will be looking for nibbles to the downside, but just so you guys are aware. Third clue. And this is probably one of the more important clues of why we will likely see this price move higher. Measured move, right? Measured move. A, B, C, D puts us right at these lows. There's going to be profit taking. There's going to be bargain hunters. And then on the next chart, you're going to see this little short-term bull channel. And again, we should go higher here. We should go higher here. Now, I need, like I always say in my trade room, as professional traders, we anticipate, but we need proof. We need proof. So how do we get long? If you're an aggressive buyer right now, how do you buy? You wait for the sellers to try and fail. That's the first one. What if you're a seller? If you're a seller like me, you're waiting for price to come up, give it a shot at the 16 to 14 range. If it doesn't go there, and remember, we're not blindly selling. Okay, I'm not going to just blindly sell right here, guys. I'm looking for the entry trigger. Always entry trigger. What's my trend? Where's my setup? Where's my trigger? I know my trend is down. My setup here is a trigger zone. My setup here is the high of that channel. But again, I'm telling you though, I wouldn't be surprised if we run this sucker right back up here tomorrow, and either late tomorrow morning, early tomorrow afternoon, or possibly on Thursday's session, we make the move back lower again. And again, you can see here, you got that range expansion target just waiting for you all the way down, right? Looking good. Looking good. So we're looking at price most likely going higher here. Again, you're going to be aggressive to buy this right now. Smart traders right now on the Russell, along with all the other E-minis, are waiting for price to come up off these lows so we can smack it and bring it right back down again. Stay patient if you're a seller, and you better get on it fast if you're going to be a buyer. How about the price action chart here on the Russell? Now, this is a very interesting chart we have here. Okay, so Russell is trading, I should say trading, inside a range this evening. We can easily see the range. We have a short-term bull channel, which has recently been broken, which that tells us what should happen next. We expect the buyers now to push up to that range high. So without even knowing that there was a measured move, right, off the last chart, without even knowing that there was a channel low off the last chart, we see all the information we need right here. Bull channel, a break. You're going to have those late adopters coming in, and they're going to try to run this sucker back up. If we can run this sucker back to that 11.8, we're most likely going to see 17.7. Okay, so just like we said across the board last night, there's a line in the sand right now. We've got the bull channel, we've got the breakdown. There are going to be some bargain hunters going on here. You know there's going to be some bargain hunters buying this thing, taking profit off of that big short, and so we do expect to see buyers to retest this 1211.8. Remember, if they get to 1211.8, chances are very high now we're going back to 1217.7. Okay? But we're in a downtrend right now. How am I going to trade this? Look for those sellers to fail, right? So where would the sellers come in right now? They're probably going to sell a retracement. You can probably think of a few places where they would. Wait for those sellers to try, and when they fail, you got them, right? You got them right where you want them. Remember, we make a lot more money, a lot easier when we get into trades while other traders are getting forcibly taken out of trades, right? They get out of their trades without even thinking twice, just market order and they're out. That's why slippage happens on market orders, right? So when people get stopped out, we get filled in our entries and our targets a whole lot easier. Now, another very important clue here is this spike and ledge. Basically, spike and ledge is very similar to a spike and channel, right? A flag, a pennant pattern, things like that. Okay, spike, very easy to see there. Okay, very easy to see this spike. And then we start to kind of base out here, and you'll notice it just pretty much just sits here. Basically, what's going to happen is if we are unable to go lower, chances now become very likely now that we go right back to where the spike began. So we definitely have potential here. Again, if we get back to that 1211.8 here overnight or basically before, I would expect it to happen before 9:30's opening bell tomorrow. If it takes longer than that, something's wrong. It will likely happen here early morning tomorrow morning. So if you're in Asia and you're in London, definitely watching for it. So you get 1211.8. Trying to get back here, almost a certainty we get back to 17s if we can get to 11.8 overnight. And then, I don't know, maybe all the way back up to 21.9. I'll tell you right now, though, it's going to be really difficult to keep buying through this long-term trend line, right? So I would say right now, your juicy target here is going to be 17.7. It's definitely got the good mixture of it should be easy enough to get to. We're not trying to overdo it. If you want to hold on to a portion of your profit, up to that 21.9, absolutely don't let me stop you. But again, we're in a downtrend. Let's not forget about that, right? So we want to take the easy money if we're going to be buying here right now. What else do we have on this? If we happen to roll over, right? If we happen to roll over, if we go to 12.044, another line in the sand, we're most likely going to go to that 97 even. Okay, so think about this right now. This range is really important. If we go up to 11.8, almost a guarantee we go up to 17.7. If we go down to 044, almost a guarantee we go down to 97 even. I can't really say the word guarantee without getting the hives, right? I start choking up a little bit. So we know the spike in ledge tells us potential to go higher. We know the multiple ranges that we see allow us now to look at range expansions, right? So range expansion, and that really sets up some great targets here for us as we break out of this range. Really exciting session on that Russell today. Moving forward here, okay, so again, on the Russell, don't forget, stick to the sell side to follow the trend. But again, if you want to be aggressive and be a buyer right now in this Russell, wait for those sellers to fail. And don't forget, you're not alone out there in this world, guys. We run our trade room every day. Come out and see us, and we'll walk you right through everything in real time. Last but not least here, on the crude, I'll tell you, crude's got some mixed signals here. We got a bit of an identity crisis going on here on crude. Crude is bearish. Again, no question about that, but we have some mixed clues. First of all, we can see volume. Volume confirming at these lows. By now, you guys are hip to this game, right? Mark up the lows in price, match them up to the volume. Volume increases as the price decreases. Remember, volume confirms the move, right? Who told us that? Charles Dow, right? Yeah, the great grandfather of westernized technical analysis, right? You know the guy from Dow Jones Industrial Average. Yeah, that guy, right? So we know that thanks to our good friend Charles Dow, we know volume confirms the move, and we teach all that stuff in our beginners course here at School of Trade, all the important forefathers of technical analysis. But we know that volume confirms the move, and we definitely have a confirmation. It's very easy to see. But what happened with the undershoot? Look at the undershoot. We couldn't run down to 48? It's a measured move target, for crying out loud. We couldn't make it to 48? The big round number? What? Undershoot, right? We should have been easily able to get down to that area today, especially the way it looked, right? After lunch, it just completely collapsed here. So undershoot tells me expect a larger correction before we go lower again. That's basically what it tells us. So if you're a seller right now, like I think you should be, right, follow that trend. If you're a seller, not to worry, just stay patient and wait to look for a nibble up here around 49.50. I would say 50, right? 50, big round number. That's about where the full oversized correction would come. So I'll tell you guys, we could see this all the way back to 50 tomorrow and then back down again. Now, again, remember what I always say, I'm not a big believer in we went lower today, tomorrow has to go higher, but that is the kind of pattern we're dealing with right now, right? It's a down day, a big down day, a relatively small up day, a big down day. If the pattern continues, tomorrow will be a relatively modest up day, possibly back up to 50, then setting us up for the big move at the end of the week this week. Who knows? All I know is what I see in the chart, though. I see an undershoot of the channel lows, and I see volume confirming. Huh? Yeah, exactly. Completely backwards. So stay patient. Wait for that bigger correction. You gotta err on the side of caution right now, and I'd be watching that 49.50 up to 50 area for a big sell off the highs tomorrow. And then last but not least here, wrapping up here on the price action chart, here's another really important set of clues. Look at this chart here. There's a lot of important clues in this chart here. Crude oil price action is bearish. We are at a critical location on this chart, though, for the buyers and sellers. Now, here's what we see right now. First of all, there's that same overshoot. Little bit different look to it. This is a tick chart, not a JJ chart. This is a tick chart, right? A variable open, high, low, close chart other than a range-based chart the JJ bars are. So it's an undershoot, which means we should get an overcorrection. Well, Joe, that's, I don't know what you call it overcorrection, but that looks pretty darn good, Joe. So we have an overcorrection after an overshoot, right? Check that right off the list. Now, where do we go from here? Because what happens in the next few hours is going to be critical for what happens tomorrow. Here's what should happen. We should return back to that low at 48.26. It's actually going to be the low at 48.20, but 26 will be darn close enough. So what should happen right now is we got the over We got the under, we got the over, right? We call it the over-under in our trade room, and now we should be returning back to those lows. If we do get to 48.26 here between now and tomorrow morning at 9 a.m., nothing guaranteed in this life, but we are almost guaranteed here to be pushing lower here to that 47.48, right? That's the measured move target now coming ABCD on the way down. Okay? Again, nothing guaranteed, but if we do get back to that low here overnight, that means that that under-over has held, and we are going to most likely get at least down to that, at least a 48. I'm calling 47.50, though, area for tomorrow's sell targets. But what if we don't? What if this price keeps going higher? If the price keeps going higher, it will make all the sense in the world for me because we saw the undershoot. And again, that kind of confusion here between volume analysis and the sellers today. So they don't really add up. Bottom line is if we do go higher here, we will expect these buyers to get a little bit perky. You know, everyone's trying to, I swear, everyone is trying to call a bottom right now just so they can save the stupid post on YouTube and brag to their friends the rest of their life. I called it 50. Look where it is. I swear, people just want the notoriety of it right now. Everybody's trying to call a book deal. I don't know what the deal is right now. Everyone trying to call a bottom here. You can see it's not really working out very well. I love the cats on Stock Twits trying to tell me this is accumulation. You got it. Go ahead and start accumulating right now. Let's see, we'll see how that works out. Guys, trust the chart. And right now the chart tells me that if we don't go lower, we're likely going to push higher here. Now you'll notice I'm looking for a sell with trigger and a sell with trigger. Of course I'm going to stay to the sell side. We're in a stinking bear channel here. We're in a bearish trend like no other. Hello, right? So it's very easy for me to say sell. But that under over, if it doesn't hold and we go higher here, I need a trigger to get short. Again, I'm not going to blindly buy it or blindly sell it. If it goes right through it, look for the buyers to fail. And if the buyers fail, sell it. So ultimately, in a downtrend, if you want to be a buyer, you've got to wait for the sellers to fail. Seller failure will happen right there. Once we go higher here, you want to get back to the downtrend again. You want to sell, wait for the buyers to try and fail. And then again, targets and targets on the way down. So I would expect this price to overcorrect a little bit higher before it goes lower. But again, my gut instincts are not what you can rely on. Rely on what you see here. If we go higher, it's expected. Wait for the trigger, sell. Go higher, it's expected. Wait for the trigger, sell. Don't be surprised if we end up back to 50 tomorrow. We know how this game goes. Price keeps trying to keep pushing lower. People defend it, and it goes back to 50. So I'm not going to fight that, but I'll definitely be looking for sells at resistance, and again, we'll likely consolidate here at 50 and have to wait for probably Thursday before we can get this puppy to go lower if we go all the way back up to 50. All right? Keep nibbling to that downside, okay, as you go higher. And if we just roll over here, you know the plan, right? Get to selling and make sure you stay patient for those sells. Guys and gals, awesome week so far. Awesome week here so far. Cruising through this month of March. Gotta love it, right? Gotta love it. Now, before I let you guys go, don't forget, download those charts. Have those ready for you tomorrow. Grab your free pass. Register for the nightly newsletter mailing list. Don't forget to check your email if you register for the mailing list. And if you happen to have some free time, don't forget here, boys and girls, we've got the best free trial in the business. Don't take my word for it. I'll prove it to you. All I need is your name and your email address. Register for the free trial, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. You can learn much more about how I trade in that free trial. We have 3 levels of membership, beginner, intermediate, and advanced. And don't forget, I got someone standing by 24/7, 365 to help you guys and gals out. Whew! Long day here in the office. Hope you guys had a great Tuesday. Shall we do it again? Same time tomorrow? Same place? All right. I'll bring the charts. You bring the open mind, and I'll see you then. My name is Joseph. Thanks for watching, guys. Adios, amigos. Bye-bye for now.